Hi dear traders, and a warm welcome back to my channel. I'm glad to see you once again in today's new video. So today I'm going to be trading with technical analysis, but I'm going to be using the help of the alligator indicator plus the Aaron oscillator indicator. So I'm going to try and work on situations I'm quite familiar with, and I'm going to be starting with a deposit of $85 and hopefully hit my goal for today, which is around $20,000. And hopefully by the end of the video I'm able to hit my goal. So stay tuned until the end of the video to see how these indicators work and if I'm able to hit my goal. And also I'm going to use a 5-second time frame and work out on situations for only 1 minute. And also don't forget to support my channel by liking the video, sharing this video to your friends and family, and subscribing down below to my channel. Let me find my first entry point. So I see a very good entry point and I'll explain it to you. Here I have a good and confident downtrend. As you can see, the price has risen to the top and at the moment makes a down impulse. You can see a cross section of the sliding alligators. Therefore, in this situation, I'm going to open a deal for a fall for a minute. Since in the Aaron indicator, the lines intersect each other and the red one goes up, that is, both indicators give us an understanding that the price has a good potential for a fall here. And at the same time, you can see that the main price maximums on the graph have become lower. So with more probability in the near future, the price will continue to move down according to the downtrend. So in this situation, I used 1 minute because the price as a rule moves quite impulsively, and I'll have enough time here, but let me wait and see the results. Well, this is very great, friends. As you can see, the price continues to move down, and here I got a very confident plus. The indicators really gave me a good entry point for my first deal. So let me find my next situations. So as you can see, the price has already hit the level of resistance. At the moment, the price is again approaching this level. In this situation, I'm going to open a deal on a rising for 1 minute. Since as you can see, the green line of the alligator is located above the rest. Also on the indicator Aaron, the blue line intersects the red one from the top down. That is that both indicators tell us about the future growth of the price. Also before the marked level, there is still some place left, and right now the price is already hitting it, and I'm thinking that in the near future the price will hit the marked level and go higher. Also, as you can see from the last price minimum, the price has already moved more impulsively and mainly with green candlesticks. All this gives me an understanding that the price has a good potential for a growth here. Let me wait and see the result. This is awesome, friends. You can see the price showed a good growth and hit the level of resistance, and you can see that we got a confident plus. In this situation, 1 minute was enough time for this. Also, you can see that the indicators really help to determine further price movement. Let me find my next situations. So here we have the price traded on the side. As you can see, at the moment it's hitting the bottom edge with an impulse. In this situation, I'm going to immediately open a deal on the rising. As I can understand, looking at the indicator signals that are contradicting this, I can see that both the indicators tell us about the future price decrease, and here I opened a deal on the rising despite this. This is applicable when price moves exactly on the side. I think that by hitting the bottom edge, the price will now move to the upper edge. That's how the price was earlier, and it made a good jump from this edge. That is, I understand that the price has a good potential for a growth here. And also now on the graph, I can see the impulsive green candlesticks here. So let me wait and see the results. This is quite good. As you can see, the price is making a good jump from the bottom edge of the side and it almost hits the top edge. In this situation, I got very good profit, and as you can see, I had enough time here. Let me go on. So here we have a good and confident downtrend. As you can see, the price is making a jump to the top edge of the resistance level, and then the impulsive red candlesticks appear, and here I'm going to immediately open a deal for a fall for a minute because I can see the intersection of the averages on the alligator indicator, and also the red line of the Aaron indicator came up. Both tools tell us that the price has a good potential for a fall here, and also you can see the price minimum on the graph remains a significant place, and at the same time I can see that the price has made a good roll back to the top, and the main price maximum are getting lower here. All this tells me that the price has a good probability to move down according to the downtrend. Let me wait and see the results. Well, this is pretty good. As you can see, the price is making a small roll back to the top At the same time, our deal closes below an entry point, and I got very good profit here. 1 minute was enough time for me here, and as you can see, I've increased the initial deposit more than 10 times. This is great. Let me continue. Here we have a good confident uptrend. At the same time, the price has made a rollback down, and at the moment, new impulsive green candlesticks appear on the graph. Also, you can see that on the alligator indicator, the intersection of the averages occurs. So here I'm going to open a deal on the rising for a minute, because the indicator says that the price has a good potential for an increase here. At the same time, I can see that the second indicator did not have time to react immediately, and now it gives us a signal for an increase. That is, this instrument also confirms our entry point and gives me an understanding that the price has a potential for an increase as well. And also I can see that the main price minimums on the graph have become higher. At the same time, the price moves more in an impulse, so with more probability in the near future, I'm going to see the price rising here, and I think 1 minute will be enough for this. Let me wait and see the results. Well, this is pretty good. You can see that my transaction closes above the entry point, and I got very good profit here. And here I was able to take a small movement of the price to the top, and both indicators really helped me here. And 1 minute was enough time. Let me go on. So here the price moves accordingly to the downtrend. At the same time, at this moment, I'm watching the correction movement. Also, the averages of the alligator have intersected and now more distant from each other. In this situation, I'm going to open a deal on a rise, since the cross section of the lines on the Aaron indicator occurred and the blue line is located on top. That is, both instruments say that the price has a good potential for an increase here. And also you can see that before our entry into the deal, the price began to move more impulsively. You can also see that the averages of the alligator indicator are further away. Therefore, I think that this is a more probability that in the near future, the price will continue to move up. Let me wait for the end of this deal. This is awesome. As you can see, the price has continued to move up, and I got very good profit here. In this situation, 1 minute was quite enough time for this, and also the indicators really helped me. So let me continue. As you can see, after a rather strong rollback to the top, the price continues to move down in a downtrend. In this situation, I'm going to open a deal for a fall for 2 minutes, since here I had a cross section of the averages. At the same time, on the Aaron indicator, the red line comes up. At the same time, recently I can see that the price moves down mainly with more long red candlesticks, and also up to the last price minimum on the graph. There's still some space left. All this means that the price has a good potential for a fall, and there is a high probability in the near future the price will continue to move down in a downtrend. And also in this situation, I'm using 2 minutes, taking into account that the price can get into the trading zone or a rollback to the top may happen. But let me wait and see the results. This is great, friends. As you can see, the price continues to move down, and I got a very confident plus. Also, 2 minutes was enough time for this. Let me go on. Here you can see we have a situation similar to the previous deal. The price moves in a downtrend, and after a rollback to the top shows a decrease again. In this situation, I'm going to open a deal for a fall, since as you can see the alligator averages intersect each other and the green one is located below the rest. Also on the Aaron indicator, the red line intersects with the blue from the top down. That is, both instruments allow us to understand that the price has a good potential for a fall here, and also the main price minimums on the graph have become lower. So there is a high probability in the near future the price will be moving down according to the downtrend. In this situation, I used 2 minutes with the reserve, taking into account the possible trades. But let me wait and see the results. This is awesome, friends. As you can see, the price goes down with an impulse, but then the price roll back to the top occurs on the graph. Nevertheless, our deal closes below an entry point, and here I got a very confident plus. You can see that the indicators really told me a great entry point. Also, 2 minutes was enough time for this. You can see I already have 13,000 as my deposit, and I'm confidently approaching my trading goal. So I'll find one more trade for today. So here lately we have a good upward movement. The price goes up with an impulse while the rollbacks down are small. At the same time, I'm seeing the green line of the alligator is at the top. Also, the blue line of the second indicator is located at the top. At the moment, the price is just making a rollback down. So here I'm going to open a deal on a rising for 2 minutes, since both indicators say that the price has a good potential for a growth, and with more reliability, the price will continue to move up in the outlined uptrend. At the same time, as you can see, the averages in the alligator indicator have overlapped for some time, but since we're analyzing the situation in general, this false signal can be ignored. So here I'm using 2 minutes with the reserve, taking into account the price or the price rollback down. Let me wait and see the results. This is excellent. You can see that the price shows a good growth, but then a rollback down occurred. After that, you can see our deal closes above the entry point, and I was able to make very good profit here. As you can see, it's not always possible to choose the perfect time for the deal, but with more experience, it will work out better for you. And you can see now I already have 24,000 as my deposit, and I would like to stop here for today. So the trades today were quite awesome. Using these 2 indicators plus technical analysis really goes quite well. As you saw, I was able to hit my goal for today, and I'm very glad. So you can find such similar situations as I did today, because most of the situations repeat themselves. Work them out, practice a lot, and you'll be able to make very good profit and master the techniques of trading. And also, if you have any questions concerning today's trades, you can ask them down below in my comment section, or you can ask them in my private chat. And also, don't forget to support my channel by liking the video, sharing this video, and subscribing down below to my channel. So I wish you good luck in your trades. Until next time, bye bye.